The alarm goes off in the dark. You silence it. You rise, you wash, you dress, you move through the same rooms in the same order you moved through them yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. You travel the same road. You sit at the same desk. You answer the same questions wearing slightly different words. Somewhere around the middle of the afternoon, a quiet voice in you asks the question you have learned not to ask out loud. Is this all there is? You push it down. You make plans. You tell yourself that meaning is coming, that it lives somewhere up ahead, in the promotion, in the move, in the weekend, in the version of your life that has not arrived yet. And then the alarm goes off in the dark again. 2,500 years ago, the Greeks told a story about a man who understood your mornings better than anyone alive. His name was Sisyphus, and the gods had decided that he would never rest. Sisyphus had been a king, a clever one, too clever. He tricked the gods, he chained up death itself so that for a while no mortal could die, and when he was finally caught, the gods invented a punishment to match his defiance. They did not kill him. Death would have been a release. Instead, they gave him a task. He was to roll an enormous boulder up the side of a mountain. And that was all. That was the whole of his eternity. He leans his whole body into the stone. He climbs. His feet find each crack. His muscles learn the weight. The mountain rises forever above him. And inch by inch, hour by hour, he forces the boulder toward the summit. And just as the stone is about to crest the top, just as the work is about to mean something, it slips. It rolls back down the far side, gathering speed, bouncing into the plain below. And Sisyphus stands at the summit, empty-handed, watching it go. And then he walks back down to fetch it. And he begins again, forever. The gods believed, the story says, that there is no punishment more terrible than labor that is both futile and without hope. For most of human history, this was simply a story about hell. A cautionaritate. And then, in the middle of the 20th century, a French-Algerian writer named Albert Camus picked it up and said something that no one expected. He said that Sisyphus is not a story about hell. He said that Sisyphus is the only honest story we have ever told about being alive. He said the boulder is yours. The mountain is your one and only life. And the question is not how to escape it. The question is how to live. Camus had a name for the feeling underneath your two in the morning. He called it the absurd. It is not despair, and it is not depression. It is something stranger and more precise than that. The absurd, he said, is the collision between two things that can never be reconciled. On one side, your hunger, your deep human need for meaning, for reasons, for the universe to make sense and to care that you exist. And on the other side, the silence, the universe that does not answer, the stars that do not arrange themselves into a message, the mountains that were here long before you and will not notice when you are gone. The absurd is not in the world, and it is not in you. It lives in the space between, in the meeting of a question that demands an answer in a world that has none to give. And once you have felt it, Camus said, you cannot unfeel it. So what do you do with it? Camus said there are only three honest answers to the absurd, and two of them are forms of escape. The first escape is the body, to decide that a life without given meaning is not worth living, and to end it. Camus opens his book with this brutally. He calls it the one truly serious philosophical question, and then, carefully, he refuses it. To end the struggle, he said, is not to answer the absurd. It is only to abolish one of the two terms that create it. You silence the question by silencing the one who asks it. That is not a solution. It is a surrender dressed as one. The second escape is subtler, and almost everyone takes it. Camus called it philosophical suicide. It is the leap, the decision to fill the silence with an answer you cannot actually hear, because the silence is unbearable. It is to take the great mystery and hand it to a system that promises to have solved it. A heaven, a grand plan, a guarantee that the suffering adds up, that the boulder means something, that someone is keeping score, and it will all be made right. Camus did not mock the people who leap. He understood the hunger that makes them, but he would not do it himself, because the leap, He said, only works if you stop looking honestly at what is in front of you. And he refused to stop looking. Which leaves the third answer, the hard one, the one with no comfort in it, and, strangely, all the freedom. Camus called it revolt. To live without the escape. To carry the question and the silence at the same time, and to refuse to give either of them up. This is the secret of Sisyphus. The gods gave him meaningless labor to break him. They assumed that a man who saw the futility of his task would be crushed by it. They were certain that consciousness was their cruelest weapon. But Camus said they made one mistake. Sisyphus knows. He has no illusion that the stone will stay. He knows it will fall. He has counted his defeats, and he expects the next one. And he pushes anyway, fully awake. That is the whole of it. Camus said the moment that interests him most is not the climb. It is the pause. The instant at the top when the stone has rolled away and Sisyphus turns to walk back down. In that hour without labor, he is more than his fate. Walking down to meet his stone again, Sisyphus contemplates the whole sequence of his actions. He sees it clearly, and because he sees it clearly and chooses to descend anyway, the descent belongs to him. The gods cannot touch a man who has accepted his rock. This is the turn that changes everything. The boulder does not become lighter. The mountain does not shrink. Nothing in the situation improves. What changes is the man. He stops waiting for the rock to mean something, and he begins to own the pushing. Now, bring it back to your morning. The alarm in the dark. The same road, the same desk, the same questions in slightly different words. You have been told your whole life that this is the part you endure on the way to the meaning, that the meaning is up ahead. But the promotion arrives, and the boulder rolls back down. The move arrives, and there's a new mountain. The weekend ends. The version of your life that was going to save you turns out to be just another slope. The meaning was never up ahead. It was never going to be. Camus is not telling you to give up. He is telling you the opposite. He is telling you that the meaning was never going to be delivered, which means you were always free to make it yourself here in the pushing, in the only life you will ever actually have. The point is not to love the boulder. The point is to stop letting the boulder decide whether you are allowed to be alive. To be awake to your own days, even the repeated ones. To notice the light on the road you have walked 1,000 times. There is a freedom in this that the leap can never give you. The man who waits for heaven is always somewhere else, always postponed. But the man who has accepted his rock is completely here. His whole life is happening now, in his hands, on this slope. Camus ends his book with a single sentence, and it is one of the strangest endings in all of philosophy. After everything, after the silence and the futility and the eternal stone, he writes this. One must imagine Sisyphus happy, not relieved, not finished, not saved, happy, because the struggle itself, the climb itself, the being awake to it itself, is enough to fill a human heart. Tomorrow the alarm will go off in the dark. The boulder will be waiting, and you get to decide who walks down to meet it.